those strategies. And again, see the legend. So take some notes, have fun, and thank you, Jess, for doing this for us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, guys. And I hope you're enjoying your trip. Proud of you for getting away, but have a great time. And yeah, I kind of wanted to do a quarterly check-in just to make sure, really the year's halfway over. So we have a long time, 6 months, plenty of time to get lots of good stuff done. But I want to just make sure we're doing the right things so that we don't look up at the end of the year and be like, oh man, let's set the same goals over and over. Because I have done that before for a few years.
Just a quick note, it is still 1 minute to the hour. So if you want to just chill for a little bit while people
Absolutely. Does anyone have any wins to share? I guess. And Jordan, can you let people in, or do I let people in since
Since you're the host?
Yeah, I have so far.
Our big win is this was our biggest month in rev sale. It's pretty cool how free we are because of EXP and
Awesome.
Jackson. So definitely gonna pay off for you guys as well who are trying to be on teams. Definitely stick with it.
That's awesome. Congrats, you guys. Can't wait.
You.
And then those who are watching it on Facebook Live, ask questions in there. I don't know if Jeff will see it, but we'll get back to it once we do. And then those watching the replay, again, ask questions down below. We're always super active. Hope you guys get more stuff answered. And it's gonna be the biggest year yet.
It is. I'm excited. And I was brave and reached out to a market center leader that I kind of know. I don't know if she knows who I am, but I was like, who cares? I don't know her. I'll reach out.
How did it go?
I don't know that she's responded yet, but I wanted to talk to you guys because I'm getting brave and asking for 5-minute calls. And then I don't know what would be the best use of those 5 minutes. If I just have 5 minutes with someone, what would, pique curiosity, but we can talk about that another time.
Yeah, we can do a leader call up close, like what we always do with you guys. But I will say, it depends on your strategy. There's long-term and there's short-term agent tracking strategies. If it's long-term, you want to see what they are right now in the life and business, add some value as much as possible in that 5-minute phone call. But then they think about you more, they're indebted to you more, and so forth. If it is a short-term strategy
for the long term, just if you can figure out their goals, then you can follow up with them in a few weeks and say, oh, I was thinking about you because you mentioned that you're really trying to focus on getting your relocation certification or whatever it is. So yeah, the longer term, like Jordan said, adding value and then collecting information that you can then use later.
And then I would also make another call on that same call booked for next time. So after the call, hey, just real or staying connected. Are you free in a month or two for another quick call for a coffee meeting and so forth? That way it's guaranteed keeping the ball rolling for you is really good for long term. For short term, you can use the forward method and kind of probe them and see what their pain points are, what the goals are, and then transition into a dialogue about your team. Just don't say, hey, let's do EXP now. It's gonna be 2 calls for short term. So long term is multiple calls. Short term is let's get to know each other, what are your pain points, and then I'm not here to pitch you right now, but you want to hear more, let's do another call this date. And that way you're staying them up for that call later on in a week or so.
Yeah.
Awesome. Saying, especially for you, just saying no pressure or anything, but just so you can know for sure what you're saying no to. I personally said no for however many years, and I wish that I had been open-minded and done one of these that I'm offering to do for you. So, then people will be more open-minded if you kind of give them an out instead of they're gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be such a hard pitch,
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea. And yeah, she's a team leader. So I always am let's talk about team stuff. I'm curious what works, I don't know.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah, well, but just book a call with us or text us. We can go deeper into the strategies. And tomorrow, we should still be having the builder call for agent attraction at 1 p.m. tomorrow still, even though, well, at this beautiful, well, mostly beautiful hotel, minus the rain. But I'll let you take over the call from now. Also, hello, Sarah, Gustavo, and Rex. I definitely see you guys. Thanks for being here. And again, those watching on live, ask questions. This next hour or so can change your life. Again, Jessica Smith is the best of the best. He is a legend. So I'm super excited for you guys to have her information.
Awesome. Hey guys, thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here. I kind of picked this topic because I know I need it. I need to check in with myself. Oh, we have one more coming. So I wanted to just make sure we're doing the right things every day. So when we get to the end of this year, we like where we are. I know I went a number of years just kind of setting the same goal every January 1st. I'd be like, let's make 6 figures. And I didn't really know why or have a plan or trust that what I was doing was generating the results I was getting. So after being stuck for a while, I hired a coach and they helped us with this plan. So if no one has any questions so far, I will go ahead and share my screen. Can you guys see that? All right, cool. So this is kind of like a semi-annual check-in since it is June 30th. All of my animals like to come as soon as I get on a call. They're like, let's go party in mom's office. Anyway, so it seems like, holy crap, half the year is gone. I am not halfway to my goal, but 6 months is a long time. We have plenty of time to get back on track and adjust our goals if our goals have adjusted, or adjust how we want to get there if we need to. So just wanted to check in and take a little time and make sure we're doing the right things. So I used to hate the woo-woo stuff and all of this mindset stuff, but after being stuck for a number of years, I have realized that it really does make a big difference. So if you guys are up for it, let's get out a piece of paper or a journal or something and kind of jot down some notes. I would like to go back to the beginning of the year. If you set goals at the beginning of the year, like I always do, and think of what those goals were and take a look at where you are. Are you keeping track? Do you know where you are in GCI or number of deals done or whatever those goals were? Is what you're doing working? Because I know it's easy to get in the habit of just doing the same things every day and then taking care of the transactions, forgetting about marketing, and then, I don't know, just not doing things that you've always done, not necessarily with intention because they're working. So I want to kind of regroup, reassess, recommit to the right things, make sure we have accountability partners so that we're intentional about how we spend the next 6 months. Again, Jordan introduced me, but I've been doing this about 15 years. I've been kind of part-time, just doing it for vacation money, all the way to building a team and doing between 10 and 20 million a year. And so, like I said, I am now on a mission to get to financial freedom sooner than later. I'm also an investor and I have 3 kids and 3 pets and big goals. So I need to really make sure I'm doing the right things and I'm, being pretty efficient with my time. But for a long time, every single year, I was just talking to a friend. I was like, man, I thought about going back to my accounting job at least once a year or once every couple of years. Or I always have had moments of like, I don't know when I'm going to get paid again. That might be the last commission check I ever earn. And it's easy to get stuck in those, I don't know, just have those moments with the way this business and this income is. But I hired a coach. I got really stuck and really overwhelmed. And so I hired kind of a life coach and then I hired a real estate coach. And I just want to share some of the things that I've done that have worked out well because it's awesome and it does turn around. But really, it's a way to, I don't know, you have the freedom to build your business however you want. So I think I had like a chip on my shoulder and I had something to prove to everyone. And my prior job was a CPA. So everyone was like, why in the world are you becoming a realtor? So I just wanted to like grind and work hard and do things that suck. But then I ended up having a business that kind of sucked. So I now want to help people do the things that they resonate with, the things that they enjoy. The least, I mean, it is uncomfortable, but do the things that you enjoy, and then you'll grow a big business that you enjoy, if that makes sense. All right. So yes, let's get out something to write with and take a few minutes and write down either your goals that you set at the beginning of the year or your goals for the next 6 months. So your goals for the next 2 quarters. We have a lot of time. Let's revisit, make any adjustments if we want to adjust our goals, and then just think about if our goals need to change, if our situations changed, if what we're doing to reach them needs to change, we can make some adjustments. And if you guys have any questions or comments or want to chat about things, feel free to interrupt me. I want to make this interactive and kind of like a workshop style. So let's take a couple minutes and we can remember our goals and or reset the next 2 quarter goals. Oops. And while you guys are writing, it's a good exercise to think about why you want these things. Why does this matter to you? A coach made me go 7 layers deep. Like, why does that matter? Why does that matter? Why? And you finally get to like, because I want financial freedom, because I want options, because I want to give my kids options, because I don't want to go backwards. And you kind of get to how you want to feel. But really, it's good to attach that emotion to why you want what you want, and it helps kind of keep you motivated and grounded, and remind yourself of that as often as you need. And it's also good to think about what patterns, feelings, actions we've experienced the first half of this year that we do not want to bring with us to the next 6 months of the year. Insecurities, scarcity mindset, that type of stuff. And I also want everyone to think about who you have to become to actually shift from not doing the things we needed to do the first half of the year to doing the things. Like, who do you have to be to reach these goals? What characteristics, behaviors would someone have and embody to be able to do that? Like this highest version of you and what they can achieve and experience, that whatever you want to create. Do we need to get more consistent? Do we need to remove things, distractions, alcohol, sugar? I'm talking to myself here. But yeah, like what's really important, think about how you kind of self-sabotage. And then think about what the people do that you admire that are where you want to be. And think about that gap. And I promise I'll get to some tactical stuff soon. Thanks for coming on this journey with me today. So yeah, what's an action or behavior that you can focus on to bridge the gap? How can you take better care of yourself and like recommit every day? And then every moment we make these little micro decisions that either move us toward or away from our goals. So think about that. I think about it with health, like everything I put into my mouth and choose to do gets me closer to or further from my health and fitness goals. And then I thought it was a good exercise. Oops. I thought it was a good exercise to think about what you can't live without. And what do you have now that you can't live without? And are you choosing it daily? Are you taking it for granted right now? Are you being the person who really cherishes it? And then it's good to think about how you want to feel in the last half of this year, like confident, calm, empowered, I don't know, creative, vibrant. Like with money and in business, I want to feel safe and freedom. And so think about what you need in order to do that. What would make you feel safe and in abundance, not in scarcity mode? Is it a number in your account, or is it kind of a shift in your mindset? Can you feel those things? You know, it's tough to just reach for higher and higher goals, and then you never end up feeling how you want to feel. So it's good to think about that piece too. And then I also like imagining myself at the end of the year or January 1st and look back on 2023 or these last 6 months and be like, man, this was the best 6 months ever. This was the best year. Like, what would have had to happen to make you feel like that, to make you say that? And then also, what happens if we keep doing what we're doing the last 6 months? Where are we going to end up? How are we going to feel at the end of the year? Does anyone have anything to share, or does anyone want to talk about it or have any questions? Is this a good exercise for you guys? Okay.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of I don't want to say who I am, but it kind of just reminds me of everything that I thought about at the beginning of the year, or it kind of just reminds me of like, oh, that's right, I want this or I want that. I want to feel like it's a reminder of like to not let like negative stuff sit on top of the positive stuff, because you're reminding yourself of the positive stuff.
Yeah, it's good to focus on it because there's going to be both, and you can, yeah, I just get obsessed with like getting through the day, focusing on kid pickup, what I'm going to cook for dinner. Oh my gosh, I got through the day, but then that happens and that stacks up and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot what I wanted to really accomplish this year. And so I'm doing all these actions that are just helping me survive the day, but not helping me move the needle closer to where I want to be, if that makes sense. It's easy to get in autopilot. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And this is super important because I think belief, attitude, I think self-esteem goes in that box, and that's kind of where this starts. So when we think about how to get there and what we're doing, we have to believe both in ourselves and we have to believe in the vehicle. We have to believe in EXP or real estate or what we're doing enough to keep going. Like it's a starting point, And the belief is the directions in the vehicle. And that's what helps us have the potential, see the potential, and bring the energy to do the actions. Because the actions are hard, y'all. It's uncomfortable. It's risk, it's time, it's doing the stuff you don't want to do. But that's what makes the results. And if we do it and get the results, that helps feed the confidence and the belief. And it's like it gets momentum either positively or negatively. It can also go the other way. So when we don't take the actions, we don't believe, we don't get the results. It's just like, oh, I knew it. I knew that wouldn't work. I knew I couldn't do it. I knew I sucked on video. And then we don't bring the same energy to the actions to actually make it work. So really think about your thoughts and the actions, and then reflect on what you're telling yourself about it. Because we all do it. We all have this inner critic. But when you see that for what it is, and you're like, man, I'm doing it again. I gotta cut that out. Every bad video I put out is me getting a tiny bit better at doing videos, you know, whatever it is. Like, that conversation was really funny. I'm going to save that voicemail of that lead telling me to F off, because that's one no closer to a yes, or whatever it is. But that's really important. And if you have questions about what you're doing and if it's the right things, I'm more than happy to share on how I like to get there. I use social media and relationships with others, and we'll get into that more. But other people, Jordan and Melanie, are Facebook ad experts. They are more than happy to help you do that. There are lots of open house experts. There are people that do it in all different ways. There's no right or wrong. It's just kind of what, like, you have to know yourself. What are you going to be consistent at? What are you just forcing and you're not going to be consistent at? And what is, I don't know, they're all kind of uncomfortable and vulnerable, but what's the most tolerable, most fun, where you get to be creative or whatever you like. So think about the gap, think about these key things that you want to do, and then they can break down into daily, weekly, monthly items. And I like to have accountability partners, because eventually I will get tired of meeting with my weekly accountability partner and being like, nope, still didn't do it. Still didn't do the videos. I looked bad, so I just didn't post it. Like, I don't know. It's just different when you're accountable to someone. Daily, weekly, monthly. Does anyone have any questions about what they need to do to get to where they want to be? Do you feel like you know what you need to do? It's just doing it. Yeah, me too. Okay. This is one thing my coach told me that I will not forget, and it's a big one. You can either feed your ego account or your bank account, but you cannot feed both. You can't fill up both. You can fill up your ego, or you can fill up your bank account. But there's probably something that you need to let go, something you need to get over. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, all these trolls and haters on social media. I mean, whatever it is, think about how much they matter to your life compared to the people that really do matter in your life. So think about what limiting beliefs or what you need to get over. And then it's always good, like, especially in shifts like this, and every, I don't know, quarter or 6 months, to think about who we're posting for. Like, make sure you're not posting for other realtors to brag and show off. Make sure you have an ideal client in your mind, and it's our responsibility to educate them on things. So think about them and think about what they need to hear, what their fears are, what are people struggling with right now, especially your ideal client. What's stopping people? What, like, interest rates? How can we tell them we get it? They're higher. Here's some solutions. Here's some options. Like, how can we educate them? It is our responsibility, because people watch the national news. People listen to whatever they listen to, but it's our responsibility to educate them and give them options. Let them know that there's down payment assistance programs available, that there's deals to be had right now, that whatever it is. So think about your messaging and what you're putting out there. And as much as you can, be specific. Stay away from, I'm here for all your buying and selling and investing and leasing needs. Call me, to, like, you know, I know it's tough to save up money to put down. Here are some options. I know these interest rates seem high. Here are some options. There's a 0 down, no PMI program, or whatever your ideal client is. Just think about the messaging that you think about, what people need to hear, not what you want to talk about. People want to be seen, heard, remembered. So the other piece besides social media I do is just, I have a lot of touches to my sphere. I do HomeBot, I do emails, I do a couple events a year. I do a couple of pop buys a year, like little small gifts and holiday cards. And then everyone is on a plan in my CRM to text or call them twice a year. Spoiler alert, it's all text. I'm a little bit introverted. No, I do call people sometimes, but if you see something on Facebook, send a card, send a note. If someone passed away, their pet passed away, they got a promotion at their job, send a bottle of champagne, have it, just drop it by next time you're in the area, or make a point to love on your people. If they had a baby, send them a little EXP onesie. No, I'm just joking, whatever it is, but pay attention to people, celebrate their lives with them, be there for them, love on them, care about them for real. It's crazy. It works. And then let's think about how to stack the deck in our favor. This willpower and motivation, and no matter how pumped up we get, that fades. So y'all know the goldfish, sharks stuff, like you grow to the size of your container, but how can you put yourself in a bigger bowl? Like how can you increase your resources, your inspiration, the environmental things that are supporting you? If you put a plant that's big and healthy in a small pot, it goes through shock. So think about how you can stack the deck in your favor and your alignment. Whatever your goal is, your willpower is no match for an environment that is not built to support your goals. Do you need to change the environment in your office, the people around you, their value system, their health? I don't know. If you need to get rid of your TV, get rid of all the crap in your pantry that you eat every now and then, or do you need to consume different content, listen to different podcasts and stuff? Think about who you're following, what you're consuming, and just making sure you're in the right environment, you're in the right workspace where distractions are minimal, because distractions are a thing, y'all. And then think about if there's anything like really simple changes you need to do to re-architect your environment the last half of this year. I need to get rid of some clutter. It makes me feel, I don't know, overwhelmed. I need to get rid of some crappy food in my pantry too.
I'll come pick it up if you want.
Yes, please. I'll leave it on the front porch. No, my kids, maybe I need to hide it. But seriously, like that decision fatigue, even in your closet, if you need to get rid of skinny clothes because they make you feel like shit, or if you need to get rid of I don't know, just whatever you need to do to make your space make you happy and inspire you. And yeah, I'm gonna call you. It's like the opposite of DoorDash. Like, come get.
I tend to eat pretty good, but every now and then I do like to indulge. So,
Yeah, I get it. I just have been doing that a little too much. So I'm on a mission to go back the other way.
There you go.
And then what boundaries do you need to set? Like on your phone time, do not disturb, turn off those notifications. If you need to put some apps on the second page of your iPhone so that you're not looking at them all the time. What do you need to give your future self, or, take away from yourself? Yourself. All right, now we can get into the good stuff. So yeah, where should your energy be now that your distractions are gone? What do you need to do and change to get there? Are you guys tracking and measuring? Because I'm not, and I'm an accountant, and I say this stuff, but I need to track and measure how many social media posts I do each week, how many touches I do to my people, how many YouTube videos I put out, because that's the only way to make adjustments and know what's working. Like at the end of the year, we can be like, okay, here's what I did, and here were my results. Here's where my leads came from. Oh, it turned out I did 10 open houses and I didn't get a single lead from them. Maybe I suck at open houses and I'm going to improve, or maybe I need to stop spending my time doing that because I can create 100 social media posts in those 4 hours that I'm sitting. I don't know, you know? So figure out what the best use of your energy and precious time is. All right. This could be the best 6 months ever if we decide it is, and if we show up and do the things. Y'all, I got through this fast. Maybe I can go into how I do social media and sphere touches if you want. Would that be good?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we know what we want. We know why. We know what we have to do to get there. We can track, measure, and adjust and remind ourselves what it'll be like to get to the end of the year and be like, oh man, setting those same damn goals again that I do every year. And then get an accountability partner. I'll be your accountability partner. We can jump on a call once a week in just 10 minutes. Did you do it? Did you not? What are you going to do this week? No excuses, no explanations. Did you do it or not? And then you hear yourself say no and no and no. And so then it's no surprise at the end of the year. Here's my stuff if we're not connected on Facebook and Instagram, but reach out to me anytime. And I am going to shift gears a little bit and talk a little bit about social media and or sphere touches. What do you think? What do you want to talk about? Social media or sphere touches?
Can you put your information on again real quick?
Yes. Oops. Is that big enough?
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Jess Smith Austin. Or, you know, I'm in the Royal Circle Facebook group and all of the things. So you're welcome to reach out to me in there and tag me on stuff. Okay. I'm going to do a speed lesson on just big things that I think is important on social media. And social media is hard and it feels cringy sometimes. And I know, I get it. And I don't like posting fat pictures of myself and awkward, vulnerable stuff either. But I like to be able to sit in my pajamas and spend 10 minutes and reach 1,000 people instead of sitting in an open house and putting out signs in this weather and missing family day and games with my kids and whatever, and getting like one person that walks through. So this is what I do and it works. So people are on Facebook, and I'm talking about Facebook and Instagram mostly right now, but people are on there to be social, not to be sold to. So keep it conversational, tell stories. You are your brand, so don't be scared. You have to get over that and post photos of your face. My coach said minimum 1/3 should be of your face. Ideally 2/3 should be of your face. But she was like, your face, your clients' faces, your pets, your family's faces, those are the posts that get engagement. That's what people want to see. So post some engaging stuff, create better content to keep people on the algorithm, and then your stuff will go out to more people. So an easy, simple thing to do is like one personal-ish post about, I'll get in here, but this gets a little bit more complicated too. But we want to connect with people. That means we have to be emotional and vulnerable. We are not trying to be this perfect whatever. We want people to see our content and think, oh my God, me too. How are you in my head? You know, how you feel like you know people that you don't really know because of social media. That's awesome. So look at people that you don't think are cringy, see how they're promoting their business, and take notes. But we also want to show them that we know what we're doing. And then it's even better if other people show them that you know what you're doing. Social proof, like testimonials and PR and stuff like that. content should educate, entertain, inspire, or shift beliefs, like myth busting. Like spring's the best time to buy. I don't know. You need 20% to put down. Spoiler alert. No, you don't. Or educate, like top 3 tips, top 5 tips, educates them on something related to real estate. And it's crazy what people don't know. You forget what people don't know. They don't know how much they need to put down. They don't know about types of loans or what their payments are going to be like, or they just don't know how it works and they forget. They don't do this very often. And you don't have to be someone you're not and like dance around unless you love to dance around. But if you're true, if you're, I don't know, just authentic, I'm awkward, I'm sarcastic, whatever, but the people that like you and resonate with you will be your people and you'll attract them. And if people don't, that's fine. You'll appeal to the other 90% of people on there. And then share some stuff about your philosophy and bigger causes, what you're passionate about, what you believe as a human. I don't like to do a lot of really controversial stuff, but some people do, and they attract people that believe that align with them. And so I kind of do this in baby steps, but I'm getting less scared to be like, hey, I don't want to repel half my people, but I'll share little bits of things that matter to me and things I care about. And then, yeah, moving is super stressful. You need to put 20% down. I should price higher just to see what happens. You can do myth busting content to help them understand that they don't know everything and shift it to something that's more accurate. And this is a big one, and this was hard for me to get over, but it should be kind of audience specific. You should be talking directly to your ideal customer. And it doesn't make other people turned off. It just really connects with the people who are your ideal people. I'm 42. I have 3 kids, so I talk to families and upsizers. And instead of just 3 tips to declutter your home, you could say 3 ways to get the kids involved in decluttering your home before your move, or moving from an apartment to your first home, 3 helpful hacks to decide what to take and what to toss. 3 questions to ask yourself to decide whether you really need the knickknacks as you downsize, if you're focusing on downsizers. So just little things like that. Other people are still going to be like, oh, cool, 3 tips to declutter. But your ideal customer will be like, holy crap, they're talking right to me. Does that make sense? So yeah, just get a little bit more specific and spin it for what your people are dealing with. If you're talking to first-time home buyers, spin it a little bit because you know that their problems and pain points and goals. And then storytelling. Instead of just going into it, you can say, I was in between showings and thinking about how my clients were saying they were having a tough time deciding what to take and what to donate. Apparently there were tears and heartache. I gave them 3 tips and I thought I would share with you too. Just stuff like that to make it more conversational and less, here's an ad, here's my logo, I don't know, just so it just comes across better and people learn through stories and they like them. Yeah, market updates are not relevant all year, but most of your content should be relevant all year. And then when we have a bunch of good content out there, it's super easy to tie it back to our auto emails to keep in touch and follow up with people. And it's not just generic stuff. It's like, here's who I am when I take the realtor hat off. Here's some tips. Here's how we do pricing here, and it takes them back to my Facebook page so they can consume more of my content, read a testimonial or 2, like I don't know. It builds that know, like, and trust without you doing it at scale. And then it honestly does work. Like people will reach out to you and be like, hey, I'm ready. Hey, they know all the things. They don't have to interview a bunch of agents. We won't get into all these specifics. My coach did recommend that 50% of your content is video. I'm more comfortable with written content, but still, I'm working on it. Okay, so personal stories, and I have a content calendar, but your most embarrassing moment from high school or from your life, or any stories. My kid just found scissors and cut his hair to pieces, or you know, what your hobbies are, or that's kind of lifestyle content, but what you've overcome in life, what's made you who you are today. And yes, don't talk about your mess while you're in it. We all know those people that just post some messy stuff trying to get attention on there. Don't be that person. You can talk about the lessons learned after you're out of it, and this stuff never has a call to action. A call to action is like, comment below, DM me, or call me, or go to my website, just anything like that. And then personal philosophy stuff. Why I carry a gun at open houses, the skills I learned as a rower that helped make me an excellent realtor, whatever, how being a mom changed how I serve my clients. So kind of what you believe in, like we were talking about. And lifestyle stuff. People like to feel like they know you. So don't be afraid to be like, if you haven't watched Ted Lasso yet, you need to. Have y'all watched Ted Lasso yet? Because it's so good. You need to. I love rap and heavy metal. I like rap. I don't like heavy metal, but still just stuff like that to give people a little bit more insight into who you are. And it should never have a call to action. Pain problem content. That's what we were talking about, your ideal client and what they're going through. Show them you understand, and then provide how your services give them options or solutions. Like for upsizers, you don't remember when your family became one of those families that yell all the time. You don't agree with your partner on what you want for your first home. You dread going up and down the stairs, whatever it is, but tell them that you get it. And then authority building, it's big. So once people know you and like you, they'll pay attention to your real estate content. So this stuff establishes you as an expert, gives them helpful advice, and gives them solutions. So yeah, it should be valuable and helpful to them. It shouldn't be salesy and all about you. Tips for your ideal clients: speak to them as if they're already working with you. Don't be negative. People aren't on socials to be negative. Oops. And then questions are just so good for engagement. It'll make Facebook really be like, oh man, Jessica creates the most engaging content ever. I'm going to show her content to everybody even more. And here's a hack: respond to the people that comment on your stuff, even if it's just an emoji or a thanks or a smiley face or whatever, because Facebook doesn't care if it's you commenting or them. They're just going to see like, oh, wow, she got 20 comments in the first 30 minutes. We're going to push this out to way more people. So every now and then just do a question. It doesn't matter if it's life-changing. It can be, what are you doing this weekend? Or what show do I need to watch? Or I gave you $1 million. What do you do? I don't know. It can be whatever. But every now and then, I do it every 10 days. Post a question and get a bunch of engagement, and then more people will see your stuff. Value is kind of like an authority. Questions to ask your inspector, how I find market value, tax breaks you should know about. We talked about myth busting. Process solution, it's kind of like what makes you different than all the other realtors. Here's how our signature system solves your problem and like your value prop. And you can have a call to action on real estate-y stuff. All right. Do y'all have any questions about social media stuff? Social
Yeah.
proof. Go ahead.
Do you use like, instead of posting your content manually every day or every single hour, do you use something that will, like, you upload it for like on Monday and then it'll post for you like for the remainder of the week?
Yes. and yes, I do it both ways. It depends on if I have gotten ahead and created a bunch of content. I have notes on my phone. I'm always trying to, everything can be content, but if I schedule ahead, I have a virtual assistant that helps. So that's kind of cheating for my Facebook personal, but Facebook business and Instagram, I can schedule it out. And I post the same exact content on all 3 platforms. One Facebook personal Monday, I post on Facebook business Tuesday, and I post on Instagram Wednesday. Sometimes I post it all on the same day, but I reach a little bit different people. It's all a mixture of business and personal, and it all goes on my personal Facebook.
Do you just use the VA or do you have like a software?
Facebook has it in there. So the scheduler on your business page, you can schedule out content whenever, and it does Instagram too.
Okay.
So do it inside of Facebook and schedule it out. You can optimize it for both platforms and, the number of characters, the number of photos, all that. But Facebook personal, I just do it and my VA does it. But for the other platforms, you can schedule it out in Facebook.
Okay.
Good question. Oh, and this Hemingway app. So it should be easy to read. It should be spaced out. Jordan and Melanie are great at spacing things out, using emojis. This HemingwayApp.com does your character count, makes sure it's easy to read. And it should be a really low grade level of reading. So it tells you what grade level it is. It should be 4 and below, grade 4 and below. People are not in there to read business, long sentences, like really difficult things. People have a short attention span, and if it's not easy, they're going to keep scrolling. Okay. Was that helpful? And I'll just show you. Okay, good. I'll show you my marketing calendar real quick. It's kind of just like where I take notes on what I want to do in January, February, March, all the months of the year. So ideas for events, ideas for mailers. I do a scratch off ticket every March. Ideas for little gifts and other reasons to call and reach out to people. How to file your homestead. Father's Day, Girl Scouts. In March, I do CBS Sports free March Madness bracket. So they're getting emails from me and they're thinking of me when they're picking their teams. And it's just to keep in touch, really. But football schedules, I mail out football schedules to all the colleges and NFL teams in Texas. Maybe people put them on their fridge. Maybe they throw them away. I don't really care, but they see me in my branding. Halloween, sometimes we do pumpkins. You can do Christmas cards. I do a reverse pie party every November. A reverse pot buy. So I just send out an evite, ask them what kind of pie they want. I go to Costco. I get pumpkin, apple, and pecan. And then I just sit there like the back room at Alcove. I get a spot somewhere and people just swing by, pick up their pie. I do it the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So, and it's a tradition and now people expect it. And so I always get scared that everyone's going to respond and want a pie and it's going to be $1 million, but it's probably the same 10 people that come to all my events or 20 people or whatever. But it's always a good, just a good way to do things where you're not driving around the whole entire city, dropping off stuff. You're just hanging out, catching up with people, having some appetizers and passing out pies. Another good one is like, if there's a new spot in town, go sit at a new coffee shop, invite a lender, invite a CPA, and be like, we're here if we have any questions. We just want to meet our neighbors. We live here, we work here. And then you divide the bill by 3 and it's probably $100 each. What else? Handwritten cards are always good. Somebody did like a wrapping and wine women's event before Christmas with little pop-up shops, like candles, jewelry, whatever. And they just did it at a community center at a new home community or a model home even. So those are always good. But yeah, come up with a plan, execute it, touch base with your people, invite them to things. That's how I keep in touch with my people. right. What else? What else can I help you guys with? What else? Do you have any questions or comments or feedback?
No,
Okay.
not at the moment.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for chiming in and coming today. And I hope that you kind of get refocused and recommitted to what you want to do this year. And feel free to reach out if there's anything I can do to help.
All righty. Thank you, Jessica.
Guys, have a great one. Talk to you
Bye.
later. Bye.